All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. You'll probably notice the set from the Pieces of Us podcast. But I've asked Crystal and Joe to help me with this video because, well, let me back up for a second. So on Nugget's birthday, you'll notice that I was saying that there was something that was really difficult that happened that day and that I wasn't at liberty to talk about it at that point. And you'll also notice that I usually post like every 3 or so days. And it was over a week that I went from posting, because this video is something that I've almost been dreading making. You understand why?
Yes, for sure.
Because it's such a hard and sensitive topic. So you guys know that I run the equine ambulance for 2 local vets as well as a horse rescue. And I love the work that I do. I'm really the only person that does this. It's really become a passion of mine. And like so many people have told me, I can't stop, I can't stop, I can't stop. And if I didn't love horses like I do, I would be getting out of horses right now because of this experience. So I needed the support of my sweet friends. Aww. Because like anything hard, I know I can get through with you guys. Like you've proved that time and time again, and this is really difficult for me. So I'm gonna kind of give you guys the Reader's Digest version of what happened, and both Crystal and Joe actually come into this because you guys really played a huge role in helping me cope that day. So I went to go and get Sierra. Sierra is the mare that I hauled for the gastric ulcer scope a couple of weeks ago. Today is Nugget's 3rd birthday. Before we celebrate with him, I need to go and pick up a horse. We have another appointment with Sierra. Sierra is the horse that had the scope for gastric ulcers the other week, and she is having a problem with her teeth. She keeps dropping her feet, and so we're going to take her over to see Dr. Robinson and see if we can figure out what's going on with her mouth. It seems pretty painful. I was filming like I normally do. You know, I get there. I'll show you the video of me pulling up and Sierra comes walking out. Sierra! And her owner had her on the lead rope, on the halter and lead rope. And she saw me outside the gate. And I don't know if I was wearing like
come on,
really
kiddo,
shirt, like that purple shirt that I was wearing. It was really bright.
It's a pretty bright shirt.
But she was like, what the heck is that? And all of a sudden she spooked. And before the gate even opened, she like ran back, you know, got away from her owner and ran back into the stall. And so the owner went back and got a stable hand at her barn to get the horse and bring it back out to the trailer. And they actually got out of the gate this time, and he was having difficulty getting Sierra into the trailer.
come on, kiddo. There's a tie ring in the trailer if you want to just walk her in.
Okay, do you want to get that door open for me?
Okay, all the horses are like so jazzed today.
What door?
Oh, I thought you said there was a door in the back there.
No, there's a tie ring up on the top to tie her up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good girl. Good girl.
Yeah, she tried that before. Hey, 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 Whoa, girl. She's spicy this morning. It's okay, kiddo.
Over here.
Hey, 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 hey. Come on. It's just me.
Which is not normal because 2 weeks ago, did you see that video? Like
Yeah.
she loaded right in the trailer.
Right.
It wasn't even a question. She just jumped right in, you know?
She's like amazing. There you go, girl.
And when we got to the vet, she waited for 40 minutes before she was seen, and she didn't paw, she didn't kick, she didn't anything. She was totally fine. So this was so abnormal. So when I went to go hook her into the trailer, she set back and broke. There's something called a breakaway halter. It's designed to break when the horse sets back. and she broke her halter and got free and ran back through the gate, thank goodness. It's a like cul-de-sac, so she really didn't have very many choices of like where to go. So she ran back through the gate and right back into her stall. And so I backed my trailer in through the gate and into the property so that when the gate shut, if she got away from us, she was still on property. And I went back and I changed out her halter to a leather halter, and I changed out the lead rope to an appropriate lead rope for the blocker tie rings that I have in my trailer. And I took her and I started doing kind of like trailer training. So I follow the Clinton Anderson method, and there's a way that you can introduce a horse to the trailer in a calm way so that they can get in the trailer like with confidence. Because you're asking this prey animal to get in a metal box that is all of a sudden going to move, you know what I mean? And so they're like freaking out. So I was introducing her to the trailer. I was letting her do her safety check, and then I would back her away, and then I would bring her up and I would put her 2 feet in and I would back her away, and I put her in the trailer, but I didn't close anything. I was in there with her. I had the back doors closed, and I let her kind of take a deep breath and get used to that. And then I backed her out, and it got to the point where we were going to be late to our appointment because I was taking so long getting this horse in the trailer. And so she got in the trailer, she took a big deep breath, let me know that she was okay, and I tied her up and I closed the divider. And I know what's coming, so I'm starting to get emotional.
Cried a lot in this room.
Have you?
We usually have them somewhere close.
Sorry.
Here, you're gonna need one too. Okay, so I close up the trailer and I get, thank you for the tissue, I appreciate it. I get Sierra in the trailer and I close her up and I get in the truck and I start pulling out onto their little road. And they have like these speed humps, you know what I mean? That like, they're not like speed bumps, they're just like, you know, slow you down type thing. She was totally fine. It wasn't until I pulled onto the main road and I started to accelerate, all of a sudden my horse trailer jumped straight in the air and then violently started to rock from side to side. And I looked in my passenger side mirror and I see my horse trailer window fly across the road. And this Sierra's leg came out the window. And when she went back in the trailer, she cut her leg off. And I stopped the truck as fast as I could. And I got back there. And Sierra comes blowing out the head side of the trailer. It took the vet 20 minutes to get there. The police were there. They couldn't do anything for her. And we were just trying to keep her in the trailer so that she didn't cause an accident on the road involving other vehicles.
She was in the middle of the road.
I was in the middle of the road. I was in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane road. And I didn't even try and pull over. I didn't.
Well, how do you?
I just stopped right where I was, you know?
Yeah.
And her owner was behind me. She was following me in her own car. And I was trying to make sure that she didn't come up to see any of this. I had to watch this horse struggle for 20 minutes. And when you love animals like I do, that was like an eternity. Sorry. I couldn't be doing this without my friends being here with me, because this is so hard for me to talk about. So the vet got there and put her down, and I stayed with her until she was gone. And I was kind of holding it together as much as I could, and then I got in the truck and started to pull away, and I lost it. Oh my God. And there was nothing anybody could do for her, so she had to be put down. Oh my gosh. And I called my mom, and my mom talked me all the way we were going to go to the vet's office so that they could take care of Sierra's body. And I called Crystal, and I was like, Crystal, I mean, she was...
Okay, so I was like just getting out of the shower.
I always get you when you're just getting out of the shower.
People call me when I'm in the shower or just getting out all the time. It's just like a thing. But I was getting out of the shower, and so I like just gotten dressed, and so I just clicked the speaker phone though. Like I didn't hold it up. I just clicked speaker, and all I hear is Crystal, and then I just hear this like panic voice. And
I don't think I've ever called you that panicked.
No, she was so panicked that can I tell them what I actually thought for a minute?
Go ahead.
I was like, what happened? And all you were saying is you were like, I need you here right now. She's dead. And I was like, did she just murder somebody?
No.
And I have to go like help her with a body?
Oh my
God. In my mind,
you know what though? If
Wait,
I was
is
gonna...
that why all of a sudden you guys called me over there for that?
I was like, call Joe.
Hold on.
No, if I was going to call somebody to get rid of the body, it would be Crystal.
She'd call me, so
Okay,
hey,
and then I call him, so suddenly we're all in it together. But no, in my mind, because you were like, you're like, she's dead, and I'm like, Kari, I need, like, who's dead? Like,
yeah,
what
she's
happened?
like, fill me in,
like,
what
I
happened?
need to understand, and you're like, I just need you here right now, and I could tell she was bawling, and she was panicking, and I was like, is she standing over a body right? Like, what is going on? And I was just like, so that I kind of was like trying to stay calm, but I was panicking a little bit, and then I called for Aaron, and he came in the room, and you were still like, oh, I'm just really upset, and I just went through this thing, and then you said the word horse, and I was like, okay, it's not a body. I mean, it is
and
a
the
body.
relief rushes through.
But I was like, at least we're not dealing with a murder case here. But yeah, and Aaron's like, oh my gosh, like, okay, go, like, and then Alex happened to be at our house.
So, for those of you that don't know, Aaron is her husband.
Yes.
Alex is her son.
Yeah.
I am Aaron's best friend.
Yes.
So just kind of setting for who's who in this.
I forgot we were talking about
that
my channel.
don't know, sorry,
just
just
in case
wanna
you don't know who we are.
lay the foundation for who's who here.
This is one of my best friends, Crystal, and Joe has very quickly become one of my dear friends as well, because I know that I can call on him anytime and he'll come and come to the rescue. Especially that really was proven in this instance, you know. But so I get to the vet, and for lack of a better phrase, I was covered in blood. You know how when you cut your head, it just like it just bleeds, like doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You know, that was part of the situation.
Oh yeah,
And so
that's the first thing she said when she called. She said, I'm covered in blood.
I was literally...
That's why I was like, wait, what do you mean?
And that's one of the reasons that I'm not
put a graphic
showing
content warning at the beginning.
I do
of this video for everyone.
probably. I don't need. I'm not going to show pictures. I have one or two that aren't extremely graphic, but it doesn't. It was like a bomb went off in my trailer.
You don't
want to see this. Crystal has seen it, and I think she's regretting that.
Yeah, I don't do blood really well. Like it's not my thing, and so when I got there, to see the trailer in person with all of the blood and all of the everything, it made...
Had they taken her out yet?
They had taken her out, and they had a tarp over her, so I did see like a tarp, but I didn't see like her body or anything like that. But it was hard.
Even the vet, see. I mean, they do this for a living, and when they came around the trailer and opened up the trailer doors and saw the carnage in the trailer, they were like, you know, they were pretty shocked about what had gone on. So anyway, so Crystal showed up when I got to the vet's office, and I'm so grateful, because I just buried my head in your shoulder and just bawled like a baby. Aww. Because nothing in my wildest dreams had I ever thought that this could have even been a possibility of, you know, happening on my watch. You know, like I was trying to be all business, because if I knew if I didn't keep it all business, I was going to lose it. Like I could feel myself.
Well, so as we were at the vet office, you were shaking so bad. Yeah. And I was like, there's no way she can drive her truck with the trailer attached all the way back. And
I forgot about that.
Can I tell you another thing? I had never drove a car with a trailer.
Crystal! I was like, listen. I was the truck and
Yeah.
she goes, oh yeah, I've done it.
I was like, I'm good, because she was shaking like
I was
this,
literally like,
and she couldn't
yeah.
drive, and I was like, okay, I'm about to drive a big truck with a big trailer on it, but we got this. And she was like, you've done this before. I'm like, and then inside I was like,
you lied to me.
I had to in the moment.
This
to
is
keep
one of
you
those
safe.
scenarios where a little white lie is
Little
okay.
lie is okay in this situation, because I knew I was more apt to drive it safely
were.
than you were.
You
so
were.
I was
You
like,
were in
I have to
no
take
position
it.
to
Yeah.
be driving.
And I took some deep breaths. I drove, and I was making like wide turns. She's like, you don't need to turn that wide. I was like, yes,
You're like, yes,
I
Makes more sense now, doesn't it?
We're making
I
it
can't
out.
believe you.
I did a great job, though.
She did a really
I made
good
it
job.
there safely.
Yeah, and she didn't take out my mailbox or
I didn't
anything
take
like
out her
that.
mailbox or her house. Like,
Yeah.
we're good.
So, like maybe 10 minutes later, Joe and Alex Alex came with you.
Alex came
Alex
with
was
her.
Joe,
with me, yeah.
Joe
I was
shows up.
shortly behind, but I was told, hey, we need to get the pressure washer.
Yeah.
And
You had to go somewhere, and so he was going to be Alex's ride home.
Yes.
Yeah. So Joe came, and Alex came to my house, and looking at the trailer, one of the hardest things I had to do was document for my insurance and everything like that, and photograph what was left of my trailer. And so I felt that control that I had been trying to like gain over this situation. I felt me losing that. And I turned to Joe and I said, I can't do this. I can't be the one to pressure wash this trailer out. And he goes, I got it. And by that time, one of my other friends, Rebecca, had shown up, and she and I took a walk into the barn. Okay, so I'm having a really hard day, and I will tell you about that later. I can't disclose exactly why for right now, but Rebecca is over here helping me kind of get through my day because it's rough. And we went and saw some horses. It was Nugget's birthday. It was Nugget's 3rd birthday.
as soon as we figured out, okay, here's what's going on, you gave me the quick rundown. Your friend Rebecca, we basically were like, you need to go do some animal therapy in the back,
and take her.
You need to just get away because you didn't need to see the cleanup.
Yes, yeah. And as the horse was struggling in the trailer, every time she tried to use the leg that she thought was there, she would further break her leg.
Her other leg.
Both. She ended up breaking both legs because when she came back in the trailer and she thought she was landing on one leg, she didn't have that leg, and she ended up breaking her other back leg. So when she was trying to push herself out the front side of the trailer, she was doing so on 2 broken legs. And when you guys were cleaning up, I think you roped my son into doing it.
So I did. You are giving me a lot of credit for doing it. I do need to give your son Asher a lot of credit. I did get there. I kind of took lead. I did pull the old man card just a little bit and had him do the majority of it. There were large pieces. There was a lot of, without getting too graphic, there was fur, there was bone, there was a lot of blood.
Yeah. There was so much.
Dried,
there was so much
so
so that we couldn't salvage my floor mats in the trailer.
We tried to salvage the matting and things like that just because it's not cheap and there was a lot of it. But we wanted to make sure, obviously, there was no remains of anything because the horses can smell that. And with the pressure washer, we spent 10 minutes on one little mat.
A little triangle, yeah.
And even after 10 minutes, we thought we had it done. We're looking at it in the light. We're like, okay, there's still a little bit. And then I looked at my hand. My hand was bright red. It had just absorbed into it, and all the cleaning we could do.
There was no way.
We had to say, no, we need to get
And
rid
if
of
I was
that.
going to use this trailer again to continue to haul horses would get in the trailer and smell that and be like, no, and refuse. Yeah. And so
but we still
I took
had
those
to
out.
clean it because you were going to go get it. Try to
get
it fixed.
I was going to go try and get it fixed. And so...
And we can't give it to them, anybody, any person to go do the work on it in the condition
it was in, yeah. And so I had Asher pull my tack out of the horse trailer really quick, and I got in the trailer and I hauled it to a company up in Mesa to check out and see if it could be repaired. And I found out that they don't make Circle J trailers anymore. And so you can't get any parts or pieces to be able to fix it. And between the windows and the bent door and the bent divider and the ruined mats, and she broke 2 floorboards, there was no repairing this trailer. So I am currently on the hunt for a horse trailer. And so I'll bring you along with that. But I could not have told you guys this story without the support of my friends that were there with me that day, because
I'm sorry. I just feel so bad that you had to like go through that and like see. I'm good. We're good.
you are a liar. You are a really bad liar.
So, but it was nice for me to be able to step in, because I know how much you care, even for, you know, with the ambulance service that you do, you really care about the horses and stuff like that. So it was kind of, yeah, I knew how tough it was for you to have something like that happen, and just how concerned you were for, you know, how bad you felt for the horse, for the owner, you know, and how deep it hurt you. So it was really nice to be able to kind of, to get Alex and Asher and I to be able to step in and
take that from me.
You know, and I went down there knowing, like, there is a chance, just you being you're going to try to go do it yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is not going to
If
happen.
I couldn't have gotten a hold of anybody, I would have been forced to do it myself. But okay, so coming through all of this, I almost immediately started having nightmares. And for me, I see things in still frames. Like, I literally was slowing this down like it was a video, and then it was being chopped up in like slides. You know what I mean? And these slides were just on constant replay in my mind, and I couldn't shut them off. And there's one in particular where it would force me to wake up. Anytime that I would find a way to fall asleep, I would just wake right back up because of these like horrible images that were going through my brain. And so I didn't sleep for like 3 days. And on the third day, I went out to the barn, and there was some of my boarders that were there, and I thought I was going to be able to deal. And almost instantly, seeing them work with their horses, it just, like, everything just came back. It was like a trigger for me, you know. And I'm sitting there just like, why won't these images stop? Why can't I shut it off, you know? And one of my boarders is an amazing therapist, and he's like, I can't have that dual relationship with you. Can I please send down my trauma therapist to see you? And tomorrow's the second session that I'm going to be having with her, and she's amazing, and I've learned so much. But one of the biggest things that I've learned about myself is that I'm an animal empath, and I didn't know that. As many years as I've worked with animals, I didn't have like a label for it. I didn't know what that was. But so the best way I can describe it is, if you're working with a horse and they make a mistake at a walk, it's really easy to go back and fix, because it wasn't done at like a high level energy. But if you are training a horse and they make a mistake at a run or like a bucking, then the horse is like, haha, that's how I get this person off. And then like that bad habit is almost immediately ingrained in them, and it's really difficult to go back and fix. And oftentimes people need to go and get the assistance of a trainer in order to fix something like that. So that's the best parallel I can say, because for me, this high level, high trauma event happened, which I've dealt with before. I mean, weeks ago, there was a horse that I took to the vet that had the jugular vein hanging out of his throat. And I was completely fine with that whole scenario. And I was calm throughout it because the horse was calm. I was feeding off of the horse's energy. But in this instance, the horse wasn't just scared, she was terrified. And every single time I would get to this one particular image in my slowed down slideshow, I was re-feeling her terror. And so I was having to relive that over and over and over and over. And I couldn't cope. I couldn't handle it. I wasn't sleeping, but I wasn't getting up and functioning. I wasn't helping with the horses. I wasn't cooking. I wasn't cleaning my house. I wasn't taking my kids to school. I literally just shut down. And I've never had something like that in my life where I couldn't like pretend that I was okay. You know what I mean? Like with depression, a lot of times you just pretend that you're okay.
Yeah.
And there was no hiding this. There was no pushing this aside, you know, and it was really hard. So some of the coping techniques that she gave me, I do want to share with you because they really, really helped me. So if you just like look at the window and you breathe in through your nose as you go up one side and hold it across the top, and then breathe out through your mouth coming down the other side and hold it across the bottom. And so repeating that. One of the big ones actually two of the big ones that helped me the most was something they call 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are going to look around the room, and it doesn't matter if it has anything to do with what you're going through. Usually it helps if it doesn't, but you look around the room and you look for 5 things that you can see. I see Crystal's bracelet. I see a microphone. I see, you know, Joe's shoes, you know, whatever it is. So 5 things that you can see. And then 4 things that you can feel. So I can feel how fuzzy this pillow is. I can feel my feet on the rug, on the floor. I can feel my hair on my neck, you know, that type of thing. So 4 things that you can feel. And then 3 things that you can hear. And so that one is the big one for me because it forces me to like quiet down. I hear the kids downstairs.
I hear Jamie singing.
Jamie's singing. Yeah, I hear the dog barking. I hear water running. I can hear traffic. Do you see what I mean? And so when you're in that self-preservation mode, what she says is it puts you in your lizard brain, which is down at the bottom of the brainstem. And that is basic survival. Like I can breathe and that's all I can do. That's basic survival. And what it's doing is it's forcing you out of that base of your brain and up into the front of your brain where you can make decisions to stop those emotions. And so, yeah. And so it like forces you to be aware of your surroundings and it brings you up into a different part of your brain. And so once you're done with the, you know, and I think 2 is, 3 is what you can feel. 2 is what you can smell. And I forget what 1 is. I'll have to show it to you. I'll put an image on this so you can see it. But once you're done with that exercise, it has brought you out of that terror and the victim sense, and now you're in control of your own emotions. And you can decide what to do with those emotions. Do I live with the sadness that I'm experiencing? Do I get angry about it? Do I breathe through it? Am I tired and now I need to take a nap? Or, you know, whatever. You can make a conscious decision about how you want to go forward with it. So
you're no longer in that visceral fight or flight.
Yes.
You're now in your cognitive,
Think about
rational, where you can attempt to manage it at that point.
Yeah, which really, really helped. The other one that I really appreciated was she said, you know, close your eyes, put your head back and relax. And I was in a reclining chair, so it was easier because this couch is really low. But you put your head back and you close your eyes and you're imagining a bubble forming around your head. And this bubble is safe and it's warm and it's comfortable. And the things that are affecting your life, the things that you're thinking about, the things that you're emotional about, can permeate this bubble. It's a two-way bubble. So you can let things in and you can push things out, and you can decide, I can't deal with that emotion. It's too heavy right now. I'm going to push that out, and I'm going to let my friendship with my amazing people that surround me into my heart. And I'm going to stay safe in that emotion for right now until I can deal with this heavier emotion. And then I'm only going to invite those heavier emotions into that permeable bubble one at a time so that they're not overwhelming.
That's really good.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I am so eternally grateful for my friends that surrounded me in this trauma. This wasn't a tragedy. This was a trauma. I mean, in perspective, there are worse things that can happen to people's lives. I don't want to trivialize other people's trials, but this was by far the most traumatic thing I had ever been through. And the fact that I'm able to speak about it like this with you guys less than 2 weeks later is because of the support system that I had and my friends that I had that literally dropped everything and came. All you could have done You couldn't fix the horse. You could, like, I could have had a veterinarian in the truck with me and there was nothing that they could have done. Like, you can sedate the horse before they get in the trailer, but once you close those trailer doors, you can't do anything for that horse, you know? And so the helplessness that I felt, the fact that I didn't have a solution. Like, when that baby was born on my birthday, I was in control. I could decide, okay, she's not nursing well enough. Let's get her in the trailer. Let's get her to the vet.
I was
in charge of that situation.
Commanding of the scenario.
There was no part of me that was in charge of the situation. Even as hard as I tried, there was no way I could have done it. And I am so eternally grateful for you guys for being there for me. I just can't even thank you enough, and for being here with me when I'm telling you guys about this, because like I feel safe in retelling this story, and I feel like you guys can understand how hard this was. Like, have you seen that movie Horse Whisperer, where the horse, she's riding the horse and they get in an accident and they're hit by the truck, but the way they film that, they like pan away so you don't see like super gory details. If this happened in a movie, the camera would have panned away, but I got the full brunt of it. I had to see all of it, and I can't unsee those images. I can't go back. I can't fix it. But what I have control over is how I move forward and how I feel about it. I can't say that it's not going to be like my stomach's not going to jump up in my throat the next time I haul a horse. You know what I mean? Right. Or the next time I even haul a trailer, you know? But the community around me, the vets, my friends, things like that do have horses, they are begging me to continue to do what I do. And just remember all the horses that I have been able to help, and the people that haven't been able to get their horse to the vet. Sometimes the vet could otherwise have come to them, but they're at the office already dealing with an emergency. And so we have no choice but to bring the horse to them. And it allows more animals to get help. And it's something I'm extremely passionate about. And I'm looking forward to the time when I can continue that work. But in the meantime, I have to go and find a horse trailer.
Yeah, while you're looking for a trailer, you're going to need that. And that's going to be a good time for you to maybe, because it is still very raw and it's something that you want to be able to enjoy. Yeah. Because you love doing what you do.
I do. I really do.
And you want to make sure you can still do that. So you may still have a little bit of healing. So there may be a little time you need.
2 days after this incident, the owner and the Sierra was ridden by a young girl. And so the owner brought her daughter out and they had some pilot therapy. They sat down with the baby horse and got to snuggle, and that really seemed to help them a lot. So
that's good.
That really, and it was healing for me to see that they were doing so okay, you know.
Yeah.
Because it was their horse.
Yeah, but I am forever grateful that I didn't allow them to come to the trailer to see this.
They have those images.
So they don't have those images that they don't have to like heal from. And just this, like maybe 2 days ago, she sent me a video of the daughter getting on another horse to try out to lease and to continue her jumping career, because she's an extremely talented rider. So that again was healing for me to see that they are doing so okay.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Like, for going through such a hard situation to now take control of it with getting therapy and, you know, learning coping skills and doing all of that different things. Like, I'm just so proud of you. And you're such a light in so many people's lives. And I just love that about you.
I love you, Crystal.
Oh, I love you too.
And you too, Joe. This is the first time in over 30 years that I've even remotely heard of anything like this happening in a horse trailer. So please don't think that this is a common occurrence. A lot of people will say something like, you know, horses break their legs all the time at like a racetrack, etc. But those horses weren't in my care. I wasn't responsible for them. And I learned so much about myself coming out of this that I'm grateful that I learned those things. I'm grateful that I have some new friends that I've met and experienced through this. I'm just so sad that it took this to get me there. You know what I mean? But I am finding comfort in the fact that I know that my Heavenly Father knows every sparrow and every animal and every person, and he has a plan that I don't understand. And whatever trials I needed to go through, whatever trials the owners needed to go through, that he put this trial in our path, and I'm trying to learn from it as best I can. So I made sure that a lot of people, when their horses pass away, they'll harvest the tail from the horse to create like a memento or a keychain or something like that, and the shoes and things like that. And the only thing I could do for the owner was make sure that those things got back to her clean, braided, so that they could use them as a memento and not remembering the tragedy that happened. So anyway, so thank you guys for watching. I'll be taking you guys with me as I find a horse trailer. And I found one in Montana. I'm not sure if that's the one I'm gonna get, but it's gonna be an adventure. So love you guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.